Welcome everybody to a Excremental Game. Now I had the pleasure of receiving a key for this game from the devs, which I really appreciate. Now this isn't something I've necessarily ever done. I've never been in the world of early access, but let's say I'm enjoying it. We were able to get some shit right there. And this little guy in the middle that you're seeing right here, he will make me quadrillions of poop. Now, I want to showcase every little bit of mechanics that are in the game. Basically, what you saw there was a giant turd, and that thing counts as if they hit me in the middle, because in this game, you're actually stuck in the middle, in that little circle within the square. But that's all good because we have these little smelly bits. Those things are very, very nice for progression. Every time you pick one up, the next one gets stronger, and that will allow you to get absolutely crazy mode. Now we got the Ascension, as they say. So when you get a level in this game, you can see it on the bottom left, and you can get permanent buffs, which basically resets you from 0, but with these extremely OP buffs. Now, if we're going to 100% the game, we're going to, of course, hit every single upgrade. So one Ascension point was not enough. We had to go for a second one, which is why you're seeing, before I actually do the Ascension, I went for level 2. Now, if this is going a little bit fast for the start, then I apologize. This is my first time doing a real, proper 100% video, and I wanted to showcase the mechanics, but kind of get through the early game, as for me, personally, I feel like the late game is where it gets really crazy. As you saw there, we're getting 2 per little mini poop, which is pretty cool. And the next mechanic that is introduced here is the rocket poop. So basically, it explodes on impact. As you can see, whether it hits the giant turd or the walls, it will give me money. And the important part of the rocket poops is they become important for triggering para poops. So as you can see, I originally tried to catch them because they were just so cute and cuddly, and I thought I didn't want them to explode on impact. But then I figured out that you actually have to click them. And every time a rocket poop hits something and explodes, there's a chance that a para poop comes flying out towards the end. And as you can see right here, we went all the way to level 8 to get the 6 more Ascension points before the next Ascension, as when I play games like this, I like to get big chunks of progress instead of just doing small, every time you can. So right here, we're just getting all the cheaper upgrades, but soon enough, we will be going for some of the bigger upgrades that are really game-changing. As you can see down there, the guy Poopy Face Butt McStinkerton on the bottom left for $10. We're definitely going to get that very soon. We did get the bomb poop, which is actually something that is activated from the start without having to buy an upgrade. That is the first one of those, which, as you can see, it'll give me 20 every single time that it gets hit by one of the mini poops. Now, getting them to get hit consistently might be a task at the start, but trust me, everything is getting exploded with plenty of diarrhea later on. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the upgrades, so that's why I say that. But yeah, if you're enjoying this game so far, it definitely is different from the normal games that I've played in the past, but I would say it's actually quite fun if you get past kind of the poop sound, which will introduce to you very soon. So originally, this was a game that was out of my realm, except for the fact that it's an incremental, and I love games that the number goes up, and especially when it seems like it has very smooth progression, which this one did. This was something that I had to check out. And funny enough, I think Dex also played this game around the same time as I was recording it. It just took me a couple extra days to get it edited and out to you. Now I got the mini poop. This is straight up doubles my mini poop collection. And as you can see, I got a little bally streak right there. And it also doubles how much the bomb poops give me when the mini poop hits it, which is very nice. So basically, we're level 21 now, and we are introducing the sound that I was talking about. Now it's just a bunch of little whoopee cushion farts which is fine. But I played some of the game with it on and some of the game with it off. Let me know what you prefer in the comments section below. And yeah, so there will be, if you're worried about the cuts, how I'm kind of splitting it up right now, later on in the video, I will show a full Ascension from start to finish. That way you can kind of see how the progression goes in the late game. Like I said, I personally feel like it's more entertaining when there's more stuff going on in these types of games, rather than the start where there's just one little, piece of shit kind of flying around. You know what I'm saying? So towards that part of the video, I will leave you with that, while we have some bigger jump cuts coming very soon, as, like I said, I wanted to make some big progress, so that's exactly what we did. And let's say we get a couple jumps of 100 to 200 Ascension turds to make the progress even bigger for the video and for your viewing pleasure. So right now, this is kind of the end of the early to mid game, and then we will get to the bigger turds later on. If you were wondering what the autoplay button does, you just saw it there. It doesn't actually move for you or collect anything or anything like that. It actually only starts the round again, so if you wanted to go get up and go take a shit yourself, or go do whatever you gotta do, you just turn on autoplay, you come back, and you collect your rewards in the aspect of more upgrades. That's the whole point of the game after all. Now we got Mr. Poopy Man Deluxe, and he's gonna make us tons and tons of money. He has to do with the smelly bits. When you collect a bunch of smelly bits, he appears and he will give you multipliers, and that's where, in my opinion, all of the fun happens. You can see jumps and levels and XP and stuff like that, specifically from Mr. Stinky Poopy Face Deluxe. So yeah, that was probably my favorite upgrade in the game, and you're gonna see why towards the end, when things are getting into the billions, trillions, quadrillions. And that's when we're really gonna become the poop god and cover the world in shit. Now, because we are going for the next Ascension here, I wanted to show you kind of what the progress was looking like. And as Mr. Poopman Deluxe in the corner said, we're keeping it stinky over here on the Grind Reporter Excrement 100% video. So that's actually basically about it for the Ascension. We got to our 10, and now we get the moldy bomb poop. So basically what happens is now the bomb poop can become moldy, and that also unlocks a upgrade for me that will bring in the Levia Turd, which is pretty insane, and it will make these bomb poops generate absolutely insane amounts of money because it will actually explode everything that's on the screen and then replace it, and it'll do that multiple times per proc, which is absolutely bonkers, and that will make you a rich poop man. If you're wondering the tooltip of the Levia Turd, this is what it is. Whenever a moldy explodes, it has a 5% chance to summon the Levia Turd, and the more upgrades you get into them, the stronger they get, so it gets quite crazy. And honestly, the aesthetic of this game actually is pretty enjoyable, so shout out to the devs in that aspect. Alright, y'all, at this point, we grinded a ton. We watched a movie, we collected turds on the side, and we have 125 permanent poopers to disperse along this tree. Hopefully, this will make a big dent in the progress, and you don't mind the fact that we made such a jump. Like I said, you know, sometimes you just get into the poop collecting mode, and you don't want to collect poop, you don't want to do anything else. And that's kind of where we were at. So we jumped over. Now we're getting all the absolute juicy upgrades, getting crazy mode, and that's exactly what we got to do. Once again, we decided to just collect some poop and enjoy our time. We got over 200 levels this time before the next upgrade, and now we're at the point where it's pretty close to late game, so you're most likely going to start to see things get absolutely insane in the poop collecting department. So right now, I'm basically just getting whatever I want. Now, I did look through the achievements just to see if 100%ing was possible beforehand, and I saw that one of the achievements is to get every single upgrade in both the Ascension tree and the normal tree, so I knew that I needed all of these eventually. And since, as you can see, I was getting some big upgrades when I was ascending, and I was able to kind of survive until each Ascension, getting 100 to 200 levels in between, I figured that I would be able to get all pretty easily. And especially once I get these upgrades, it's going to just get absolutely bonkers. And this is around the time that I decided that I was going to do a full Ascension and record the whole thing for your viewing pleasure. So I'm going to leave this for you all, and you can skip to 2103 if you want to hear the shitty sounds return. Between now and then, it'll just be the music, and from then on, you will be able to see kind of the final Ascension before we cover the world in poop and then go for that final achievement. I hope you're enjoying this episode. This is definitely a lot of editing compared to what I'm used to, but I tried to write a script and display this awesome game the best way I could. Now on this channel, we're going to always give our honest thoughts at the end of these videos of how we felt about the game. And of course, a thank you to the devs for giving me a key and letting me try this game out early. So if you want to play this, you can go to Steam. It will be in the description of the video, and wishlist it. And as soon as it is available, I highly recommend you at least check it out. If any of this looked fun to you, this is full gameplay between now and around 44 minutes. So if you want to see kind of how the late game looks, then definitely stick around, skip around, do whatever you want to do. But most importantly, enjoy the video, or do whatever you want to do, because that it's completely up to you. And I'm just displaying kind of what I think would be the selling point for these games. Is, in my opinion, when I look at an incremental, I want to look at the late game and see how crazy does it get. Does it look cool? Does it look fun? And I would say this game does meet the criteria. Now, one thing that I would say for the devs, if you're watching this, is having a option to kind of like disable the cussing might be ideal for the younger audience. I don't know how many people, like what the age group or demographic is specifically for this. However, I would say that, like, for example, some people might be able to lean into it for their video, similar to what I did earlier on. However, some people might not want to that hard, and you know, for the general audience, it might be good to at least have that setting if people don't want specific swears, or just like turn it off altogether, and that way they can just see, you know, this H1T or money sign H1T or whatever, which is probably something that I'll have to do for the thumbnail because I don't want to get demonetized. So I still enjoyed it and I don't mind, but that's just something that, you know, sharing my opinion on how I think this game could reach a wider audience. the shitty sounds have returned, and I hope you enjoy them. We will be doing another 20 minutes of this Ascension, as this Ascension was around 30 minutes from start to finish, and then we have one more after kind of in the prologue, after the game is over, where we have to become the poop god, which means getting the max level, getting all of the upgrades, and then we will give our final thoughts as we are showing off the final achievement. Thank you so much if you made it to this point in the video. I really appreciate it. Let me know what games you want to see next. I actually have a full channel dedicated in my Discord, which is in the description of all of my videos. Join there and send Steam links, whether you're a developer or just somebody who sees some games and wants to see them played. I won't necessarily 100% them all, but I will if they're interesting enough to me, and also I will be showing off written guides for some of the more competitive or, you know, let's say mind theory craft worthy games. Now, incrementals aren't necessarily that. The whole point is for anyone to be able to start and finish them in a reasonable amount of time. For most of them in the new age, I feel like the old ones are like thousands of hours. But those are the ones that would probably get the written guide, as there's a lot to know and it might not be able to be covered in one video. So if that's something you are looking forward to, or you would want to see something like a leaf blower revolution, let me know if that's something that you would want to see, as I have like 1,000 hours from like 5 years ago or something, and revisiting that game could be pretty cool from the start and showcasing the progression over a more series oriented video. Of course, with cuts. I learned from the Minecraft one that we will show the important stuff, but not just raw footage, as I want to keep this entertaining for you all. Now, without further ado, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of this Ascension, and I will talk to you kind of during the credits and explain my thoughts on the game and where we're going from here. It is time to cover the world in fucking poop, dude. Now, we are becoming the poop god. We hit level 500. That's actually not the final level. But as you can see here, we can still cover the world in poop, which is pretty cool. And everything is stinky is the achievement. Now, I wanted to show the credits, and this is when I will give a final review on the game. I think the game was actually pretty fun. It surprised me. I thought it was going to be more so like low quality, but it actually was quite good in terms of like graphics. I liked how the numbers looked, the fonts, the upgrades were pretty cool. They all felt impactful. This game took me probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. I think I was going pretty fast, but that's just because I felt like I had a grasp of what was going on. And like I said, when I went into that grind time for Ascensions, I definitely kind of was, you know, there wasn't a lot of idle time for this game for me, as it kept me pretty entertained when I was playing it. And like I said, the Poop Man Stinkerton Deluxe was my favorite part, and that is mostly from actually moving around and collecting those smelly bits. So trying to get those chains where I kind of get a ton of levels in one kind of round was my favorite part. But I would highly recommend this to whoever wants to try it. I don't know how much this game is going to be on release, so that could play into it, but assuming it is reasonable for you, it definitely earns the, you know, the time spent. I enjoyed, and I would do it again if it ever got a big update or something like that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I wanted to end it off by becoming the poop god and getting 1 quadrillion poop, just to cement myself in the legacy of the Excrement game. But yeah, highly recommend. Definitely hope to do more 100% of games. Whether they do amazing or not on my channel, I do want to be somebody who is known for playing a ton of different games, giving my thoughts on the games and tips and tricks that I learned throughout my playthrough. That way, when someone comes to my channel, if they see a game that they want to check out, they can see the playthrough, but also come out of the game with something that they learned for their own playthrough, or even if it helps them decide whether or not a game is worth it. That's about it for this game. We did get our 1 quadrillion. We do get the final Ascension points. Now, when you get Poop God, that means that you have enough to get every single achievement. You have to ascend, and then you do have to play one more time and get the full skill tree. However, that's no problem. We got there pretty quick. I'm not going to make you make this video any longer than it has to be, as you just saw a full Ascension from start to finish, and it only got faster. No new mechanics was done for this last Ascension, and all you have to do is press quick start once you have them both maxed out for the final achievement. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, join my Discord and let me know what you want to see next, and the grind never stops. But for this video, the Grind Reporter is signing off. Peace out, y'all.